Hello Wargamers, it's me Callum from TableTopBanter, and today we have another primed to painted video, and we are in fact going to do the wet blending of the Lightning Claw. You can see I've made a smidgen of progress since last time. I've burnished my golds, I have done a bit more painting, I've decided on a hair colour, I've improved the quality of the skin tone. Hopefully it'll all focus in properly. Yeah, there we go. Kind of in focus there. So you can see I've just added a bit more colour, I've tidied up some of the grey. What we're going to do now is wet blend ourselves a Lightning Claw. So for those of you who aren't familiar, wet blending is taking a dark shade and a light shade and sort of meeting in the middle. For my wet blend on the Power Fist and such that I've done in the past, I use the Altdorf Guard blue, mainly because this is the darkest blue I have. And then I use Lothran blue, though I would recommend using something like a Cantor blue. So what we're going to do first is really shake these colours up and apply a base coat. So normally I would apply my base coat in the lighter tone, but I actually think that that's not a good idea. So on this one, what we're going to do is we're going to base coat it with the Altdorf Guard, and we're just going to apply that base coat straight onto the Lightning Claw, just as you would normally. I shan't be, well, I'll just use a smidgen of thinner actually, just the drop, so I'll probably pop this drop elsewhere on the palette and then just grab a bit with my brush, just to thin the paints down a smidgen. And then, so where did I pop it? Why did it have to be see-through? It was over here somewhere, there we go, got a big brush full. So I'm just going to thin down this blue a little and start applying the base coat directly onto the Lightning Claw blades. So you can see it takes off pretty quickly because it's thinned, and we're going for that kind of nice even base coat. Just one layer, you don't need to do more than one with this because we're going to be going over them later obviously. For every blade we just come in with a nice simple brush stroke, just to get the colour on really, it's nothing more fancy than that. And we're just going to try and get through this. Shaking a little bit, first time I've done any painting on camera really, so let me just have a quick look myself, maybe touch up a couple of the inside areas. Again, this bit's only just to let the colour really go on there, and have somewhere to stay on when you wet blend. So what I'm going to do now is cut away and let it dry. You can see here the place that we're at now is a straight up blue claw. If it would focus, that would be great. So you might be able to see here just a blue claw at the moment, nothing fancy. But what we're going to come away and do is wet blend. So I'm going to pause this, wait for this to dry, and then we're going to get on with the all-important... Alright guys, so here we have it, the all-important wet blending phase of this. I'm a little nervous because I've got to do it on camera for the first time ever, having never done it before. But let's remind you where we were before. This is, hopefully it'll focus in on the Lightning Claw would be ideal. I'll just pop my hand behind it. Whoop. Okay, at least we were on Kador now. So there you go, there's the blue Lightning Claw. Nothing fancy. And what we're going to do now is add in a wet blend. So yes, I'm a little nervous. What we do first is a drop of thinner on the blue. And, oh, the blue, okay, they're both blue, so ignore that. Just to thin the paint down, makes it a lot easier to work with. I'm just going to take that down to a very wet consistency. Wash the other, I'll quickly wash the brush and make this the right consistency too. So now we have two pretty wet paints. And what we're going to do is take a deep breath and we're going to apply it to the Lightning Claw in the following way. So I'm going to try and do this so you guys can see it. I am working in a reverse because that's the only way I can have my camera set up to work. If you pay attention to the blue Lightning Claw, we go. Get a nice bit of wet on the brush, nice bit of wet paint on there, and apply to the lower half of the Lightning Claws. Both sides, in the same way we did earlier. We're just really painting the lower halves of the Lightning Claws. Now quickly grab your water, wash your brush, although it works best if you have two brushes. Called a two-brush wet blend, but I am a cheapskate, so it actually is just a one-brush wet blend. And you then paste on the lighter blue on the top half of the Lightning Claws. And with any luck, what we'll do next is quickly wash our brush. Oh goodness, this is difficult stuff. Right, we're now just paint between the two. So we just scrub the middle halves of all the bits here. And what you can do is you can come back and pick up maybe a bit more light blue, because it's not quite gone light enough in my opinion. So I'm going to pick up a little light blue, work that into the top halves, and just do that around, because I can see it's just a smidgen dark for my liking. And this is all very much a case of the more you do, the better you get at it. But I'll just take the paint off of that, give it a bit of a blend. Maybe come in with the darker ones again, just around the darker edges. And we're just working our way around the lightning claws, just trying to get the right mix. You'll know when you've got the mix you want to get. I'm starting to get there already. I prefer just the top edges being really light and the rest sort of being more dark. So I'm just going to quickly do those ones on the inside there. People don't see them as much, so don't worry too much about that. But what we're going to do, so you've seen there a very hurried approach at wet blending. If it wouldn't mind focusing, that would be absolutely fantastic. Come on, Mr. Camera. So there you might be able to see there's a bit of a colour transition from dark to light on the lightning claw now. If we can actually get a good shot of it. I am doing my utmost with this piece of kit that I'm not fully familiar with. Hopefully it'll start to focus in. I might need to be a bit further away. There you go. So there's a very gentle colour transition from the bottom to the top. My next step will be adding lightning effects, but I'm going to save that for a different video when I have someone with a power sword, because you can see it a lot better on a power sword. But there you go, a wet blended lightning claw, and it really is just a couple of steps. The more you do, the better you get. It's quite simple, but obviously when you're doing it live on camera, you know, you sweat and you worry and you shake. But there you go, a nice transitioned wet blended lightning claw for your eyes only. So thank you very much for watching. As ever, there are 2 links in the description below. I do hope you've been enjoying this series. I've really enjoyed making it myself. It's been a busy day because I'm trying to get most of this done in one day, whilst I have the time. Anyway, I'm rambling on. The 2 links in the description below. The first is to the Tabletop Banter blog. Go check it out. Harry's been working really hard. And the second link is to the Legion of Gamza Facebook page. Again, go and have a look at that. Great guys making some great content. Would love to for you guys to head over that way and go check it all out. Stay tuned, because I have one more tutorial coming from this fellow, and that is going to be doing the base. Everything else is going to get painted first, so you'll see the finished model at the end of the base tutorial. I will do a showcase separate, or I might just do the base now. I'll think about it in a second anyway. Rambling on again. Thank you very much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe and leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. And it's been me, Callum from Tabletop Banter. Don't forget,